Block 4. Resetting your thinking. You are not the problem. You are a process. You aren't stuck. You are forming. Everything happening now isn't the end, but a remelting. Crises amplify internal voices. When things aren't going well, when your familiar world crumbles, phrases like these start echoing in your head. I'm weak. I'm a failure. There's something wrong with me. I always mess things up and will continue to do so. And suddenly, you're not just in a difficult situation. You're trapped in a self-image that's destroying you. Therefore, our goal now isn't just to survive, but to reprogram your thinking. Understand this. You're not a problem to be fixed. You're a process following its own path. 1. Change the question. The old question that harms us. What's wrong with me? The new question that heals us. What is happening to me? The first diagnoses. The second opens possibilities. The first makes you judge yourself. The second helps you understand yourself. Try it right now. Instead of, I'm weak, say, I'm going through a difficult period. Instead of, I have no strength, say, my body is tired and needs a break. Instead of, I can't do anything, say, I'm at a point of restructuring. 2. Outcome-based thinking versus process-based thinking. We live in a culture of outcomes. Show your achievements. Who are you without success? How much did you earn? Where do you work? What did you do? But there's another way of thinking, process-based thinking. This is when you see not the destination, but the journey. You accept yourself in motion, not just at the finish line. You acknowledge, I am a person who learns, makes mistakes, gets up, walks again. This is the way of thinking of living, growing people. It forgives, supports, and gives a chance. Ask yourself, do you evaluate yourself based on the outcome or on the effort, courage, and journey? Exercise, a letter to your process self. Sit down and write a letter to yourself, but not as an adult, stern and demanding, but as a wise observer to your inner child. Example, you're going through something you've never experienced before. You're doing everything you can. Even if the outcome isn't visible yet, you're moving forward. I'm proud of you, not for the victory, but for the courage to be alive. Save this letter. Read it when you fall back into self-criticism. This will be your inner support. 3. Where do your broken beliefs come from? If you feel like there's something wrong with you, most likely you were taught this feeling. Perhaps you grew up in a family where making mistakes was shameful. You heard phrases like, you have to be the best, no one cares how you feel. You experienced rejection, comparisons, or pressure. And now, an inner critic lives inside you, activating whenever you're vulnerable. This critic is not you. It's just a voice from the past. It can be silenced. How to change your inner voice. 1. Notice it. Hear how it sounds. Examples. You always mess things up. Who needs you? You messed up again, like always. Second, challenge it. Is this true? Who told me this? Would I say this to a friend? 3. Replace it. Supportive phrases. I'm not in the best shape right now, and that's okay. I'm still a person worthy of love. I'm learning, and that's a victory already. 4. Acceptance is not surrender. One of the scariest moments is when we're afraid to accept ourselves in a crisis because we confuse acceptance with resignation and defeat. But in reality, acceptance, honest acknowledgement of the situation. Surrender, refusal to act. Acceptance means saying, yes, it's hard right now. Yes, I'm not perfect, and yet I'm moving forward. This is the start of recovery. 5. Replace price with value. Often we think, if I'm not useful, I'm not needed. If I can't give something, I'm worth nothing. This is thinking in terms of price. Instead, start thinking in terms of value. You are valuable, not because you produce results, but because you are a living person with a soul, pain, feelings, and stories. Just as a flower doesn't need to be useful to be beautiful, you don't need to be perfect to be valuable. Summary: you are not static, you are a process. Mistakes are not markers of your identity. They are stages of the journey. Your value isn't in your successes, but in who you are. You can live in honesty with yourself, rather than under the weight of others' expectations. Ready for the next step? In Block 5, we'll go further. Block 5. How to restore meaning when everything seems meaningless. Where to find light when you see neither a goal nor direction. How to want to live, create, and move forward again, despite everything. Block 5. How to find meaning when everything seems meaningless. Meaning isn't something given to you. It's something you create within yourself, even when darkness covers the sky. Perhaps the most frightening part of a crisis isn't the pain, nor even the fear, but emptiness. When you wake up and don't understand why. When the whole world is gray. When familiar desires have vanished. When you look at life and feel no resonance. You ask yourself, what is all this for? Why get up? Where am I going? And this question strikes harder than any problem, because without meaning, everything else loses weight. And if you feel this way, you're not alone. This is part of the journey. And it's precisely in this emptiness that you can begin to build meaning truly. Not someone else's, not socially acceptable, but your own. 1. Acknowledge the emptiness. The first mistake is trying to fill the emptiness with anything. Activities, goals, series, noise. But meaning doesn't come where you pretend. Allow yourself to say, I don't understand why I'm living. I don't have a goal. I don't want anything right now. This is scary, but it's honest. And honesty gives birth to a chance. You see for the first time that old meanings have died. So it's time to give birth to new ones. 2. Meaning isn't a gift, it's a choice. Most people wait for meaning to find them. When I find my calling, I'll understand why I'm living. When I fall in love, everything will make sense. When I achieve success, then everything will fall into place. But meaning isn't found. Meaning is created. Meaning is what you choose to consider important. As Viktor Frankl, who survived a concentration camp, said, "He who knows why he lives can bear almost any how." Exercise. My meaning today. Try to ask yourself this question right now. What could be valuable to me even now in this state? Answers can be tiny. Talk to my brother. Write a few lines in a diary. Help someone else go through what I'm going through. Just live this day with dignity. This isn't high meaning for a lifetime. This is local meaning today, and it can save you. 3. Look back. When did you taste life? When everything loses meaning, it's important to remember. And when did you feel it? Remember. When did you feel inspired? When did you forget about time? When did you feel alive? These can be moments from childhood or from yesterday. It doesn't matter. They are like lighthouses, indicating here was the real you. Perhaps you sang, wrote, played, helped, built, communicated, read, learned, argued, or were silent. Write down these moments and ask yourself, what do they have in common? What did I do or feel then that I lack now? 4. Live not for a goal, but through meaning. Most people chase a goal. Find a job, earn money, buy things, achieve something. But when everything collapses, the goal disappears. Emptiness remains. Meaning is different. it's not a result. It's the intention with which you walk the path. You can clean the floor and feel meaning if you do it, to take care of yourself and your space. You can go to an unloved job and feel meaning if it helps you care for your family. You can simply be silent with a friend and feel meaning if there is trust between you. 5. Meaning can be quiet. In movies, meaning is loud. Saving the world, a great discovery, a life mission. But real meaning is often silent. Placing a hand on a friend's shoulder, making tea for your parents, stroking a cat, reading a book that heals you, writing to someone. You are important, and in these small actions lies great depth. Meaning isn't always about heroism. Sometimes it's about kindness in the moment. 6. Create even if you don't feel like it. When there's no meaning, your hands drop. It seems, why do anything if it's all meaningless? But strangely enough, action gives birth to meaning, not the other way around. For example, you don't feel inspired, but you sit down to write, and after 15 minutes, something awakens. You don't believe in people, be what you call a friend, and warmth appears in the conversation. You don't feel energy, but you go for a walk, and your body begins to wake up. Creation, meaning, movement, return. 7. Share yourself. When you're feeling bad, it might seem like you're not needed by anyone. But that's a lie. Your pain can become meaning, because having experienced it, you can be the one who understands another person. You can write an honest post, share your story, simply listen to someone, volunteer, create a channel like you do, and inspire others. Sometimes meaning isn't finding the light, but being the light for someone in the dark. Let's summarize. Emptiness isn't the end, it's the beginning of new meaning. Meaning isn't a global answer, but small intentions every day. Don't wait for meaning, create it. It's already somewhere nearby, in words, in care, in silence, in honesty. What's next? In Block 6, we'll talk about restoring resources. Block 6, how to fill yourself up when you're depleted. What to do if you're drained, if you have no strength for anything. How to re-engage with life when your battery is at 0. Block 6, how to replenish yourself when you're depleted. You're not broken, you're just tired. Right now, you don't need to rush into battle. You need to recover. When we fail, when plans fall apart, when it seems like everything is going wrong, we often react with internal burnout. Here are the signs. You feel nothing, not even from someone you love. You just stare at the ceiling and can't get up. You don't want to talk to anyone. You feel empty inside, as if everything has burned out. This isn't laziness. This isn't you're weak. It's a symptom of exhaustion. And it means you don't need to force yourself to live, but to learn how to replenish yourself. 1. Accept that you are depleted. It's honest, not shameful. The first step is to stop fighting yourself. You don't have to be productive 24/7. You don't have to constantly want things. You are a living organism, and it has limits, just like a phone's battery drains, so do your energy reserves. And if you acknowledge this, you've already begun the recovery journey. This isn't weakness, it's self-care. 2. Recovery begins with physiology. When it seems like it's all in your head, start with your body. Because the brain can't think when the body is depleted. Check your basic needs. Have you eaten? Not just coffee and a cookie, but real food. Have you drunk water? Dehydration intensifies anxiety. Have you slept enough? Not just passed out at night, but gotten a good night's sleep. Have you moved? Even a 10-minute walk revitalizes the nervous system. First, the body, then everything else. Exercise, the recovery ladder. Create your own recovery ladder from simple steps. Example: 1. Wash your face. 2. Drink water. 3. Take a shower. 4. Eat warm food. 5. Go for a walk outside. Turn off your phone for an hour. 7. Call a loved one. 8. Listen to music. 9. Do a breathing exercise. 10. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? The point isn't to do everything. The point is to choose one step and start with it. 3. Learn to not only give, but also receive. Very often, we burn out not from life itself, but from constantly giving. Energy, attention, help, effort. But we don't know how to receive. We don't know how to ask. We don't know how to stop. We don't know how to say, I can't right now. I'm tired. I need to recover. True strength is knowing how to accept support, even if it's simply accepting a compliment, allowing yourself rest, not responding to messages at night, asking for help. 4. Remove everything that burns you out. During periods of depletion, you shouldn't carry unnecessary burdens. Look at your life honestly. What is draining you? What conversations deplete you? What do you spend your time on that makes you feel worse afterward? Sometimes you need an information diet. Delete toxic social media. Limit contact with demanding people. Give up activities that need to be done, but exhaust you. This isn't selfishness, it's mental hygiene. 5. Small joys, great fuel. When you're at zero, don't wait for great inspiration. Focus on micro joys. They are subtle, but incredibly important. Examples: warm socks, a cozy blanket, delicious cocoa, a favorite melody, a movie that warms you, a dog dozing nearby, a child's laughter, the smell of rain. Words, you matter. Don't ignore this. This is the life you are trying to get back, not through great events, but through simple sensations. Exercise, list of fillers. Create a personal list of 10 to 15 things that fill you up. Here's a template. I feel a little better when listening to my favorite music, talking to someone who understands me, walking without headphones, drinking warm soup, writing down my thoughts in a notebook, drawing without purpose, being silent in stillness, stroking a cat, looking at old photos, recording voice notes for myself, dancing, even if it's awkward. Do at least 1 to 2 items a day. It's drip-by-drip recovery, but it works. 6. Not everything that is beneficial is right for you. Important, don't put more shoulds on yourself. Don't. Exercise if you can't get out of bed. Meditate if you're afraid to be quiet. Read self-help books if you're sick of the word achievement. Choose what brings you relief, not a feeling of, I haven't succeeded again. Let's summarize. Exhaustion isn't a sentence, it's a call for self-care. Start with the simple: body, food, water, silence. Replenishment isn't grandiose achievements, but micro joys. You don't have to be productive to be entitled to rest. You deserve support, even if you're just breathing.